Good morning. Today is just gone 2 o'clock here in the UK, or 9 o'clock Eastern time, and I'm just going to go through my levels. I'm going to be as brief as I can today, as I've got a workman here who I will probably need, can help out in a second. Right, so on my screen is the ES or the MES 1 hour time frame. Let's start with the daily. You can see we broke over all-time highs, and we broke over the all-time highs again on Friday, pushing up, and we're right up there at the all-time highs now. So what I'm really waiting for is a pullback into the previous all-time highs area. So going back onto the hourly, I'm looking for a pullback. I'm looking for a pullback right back down to this area, 4E841, and this is an area where we touched it on Friday, came back down, and then pushed out through it. So again, I'm looking at the screen. We've got previous all-time highs were here, and that was at 48, 41, 75, and that's an area I'm really waiting for a pullback. So I really want to see it come back down to here. By the time it gets there, maybe the 50 moving average would have caught up as well, but we've got a couple of pivots and a couple of areas of supply down here, or demand down here as well. If we're looking for a higher risk bounce, the only place I can think of is off the 20 moving average, which is at 48.73, 48.74 area, and zooming into that area, that was basically Friday's highs, and it happens to be the 20 moving average as well. So that area there, I'm waiting for a potential pullback, long entry to continue the trend. That's it really. There's nothing else of interest. I don't really know how to play all-time highs. I saw a comment at the weekend that someone who uses fib levels, so maybe that's something I can look at. But I'm basically looking for a pullback for a long entry. That's basically my plan for today. Let's look at SPY next. Basically it's the same. We've got the previous all-time high, which we ripped through on Friday. So I'm going to be waiting for a pullback back down to the 480 area, 479.98, and we've got this higher risk 482.75 for potential bounce there as well. No rejects really. I may consider high of day pre-market rejection, but I don't really do rejects off of pre-market levels. And the same for the MES. We've got these areas here. If I see it form maybe a head and shoulders pattern, then potentially I might be interested in a short, but I'll play that as I see it. Okay, looking at Qs, very similar. Again, waiting for the pullback to 413. We should get a pullback today. We are very extended, and a decent pullback will be looking for that entry. Nasdaq, in fact, all of the levels are going to be the same, I think, by a couple. Again, waiting for that pullback entry. Don't really like anything up here as well. Higher risk at 17,500, but I prefer getting back down to the 17,000 area. So I'm watching this area. Oil doesn't look like it's doing much. That's the daily chart. I quite like, maybe we're seeing a lot of volume on the daily around this area. So potentially we put in a lower high there. We just need to break out. If we break out over there, I'm maybe looking for a bit of a swing entry, maybe a break and retest long. So I've got an alert set at 74.50 area, and that's just going to make me keep an eye on it. So I'm looking for a breakout. Gold, not doing much at all. We've got this extra level I've added today, which is basically where we've seen a bit of a few bounces, and that's at 2021, but it's not a great level, and if it comes back down to this area again, we'll look for a double bottom, or we can potentially look for a break and retest off this level, which is an area we've been watching, and an area of higher volume as well. The level I added in today, this level down here, you can see there's not much volume in that area, hence why it's not a great level. It's more for indication only. Russell 2000, so we've got this channel we've been trading in. kind of touched the bottom of that channel, broke out, came back down, and I've just linked these two together. Let's just try cloning that actually. See where we are. Oh, there you go. So we could use this as a guide. I just linked pivot, 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 pivot together. So those 4 pivots. And we're trading in the upper half of this channel, so we could be potentially looking for a breakout. So one to keep an eye on. Or we can just trade the channel all the way back down to that lower channel as well. But not much there for me at the moment. And then finally the Dow Jones, looking very strong, looking very extended, and that's due a pullback. There's no longs unless we get a pullback. And level wise, it's got to come back down to here really, where that point of control is. So if we get a big pullback down to the 50 or the 200 moving average around this area, 37,800, then we can look for a long play basically. I'm not playing the Dow Jones nor the Russell myself. I'm just watching it every day so I can learn how it moves, and then I'm going to start putting some levels up which I'll be playing. But these ones are just keeping an eye on. And have a quick look at Bitcoin while we're here. Looking a bit bearish at the moment. Quite like that area there for a potential bounce back up. And I like this area. If we come back down here, I'll be looking to add to my small amount of Bitcoin I own. If we get back down there, I may even add. If we back down here as well, just a little bit. In fact, I normally add a little tiny bit in every month as well. So that's an area to watch off down here as well, 30s. Let's just mark it up for future reference. And that area there, which we've touched twice today. Potentially looking at a double bottom, maybe breakout or push up. But we're below all the moving averages on Bitcoin, so it's looking pretty bearish at the moment. And then that's my original target. I've got another target alert set at 50, so 48,000 to 50,000 is the next target long. And I'll address any others when we get closer. Okay, so I think that's it really. So let's quick look at Bitcoin, the Dow Jones, the Russell, and then the only one I'm really watching today will be the ES or the MES. And just to recap again, 2 levels. The area I'm really waiting for is 48, 41, 75. That'll be a long, hopefully off the 50 moving average as well, or a high risk long at 48, 73 area. Okay, I think that's it really. 2 levels really, no real rejections unless we come back in and we put in a head and shoulders pattern. And that's it for me. Okay, trade safe, and I will speak to some of you today. Thank you for watching.